The air in Heartland has never felt this heavy. Shadows stretch across the farmhouse, doors creak in the wind, and every heartbeat feels louder than the last. Tonight isn't just another evening, it's the moment Amy and Ty have been dreading. Gracie's lies have been building up for months, twisting trust into tension, and now the final confrontation is here. Every secret, every betrayal, every truth that has been hidden in the dark corners of Heartland is about to come to light. Who will walk away with a broken heart? And who will stand victorious when the dust finally settles? The farmhouse sits quietly, but there's a storm brewing both outside and inside. Rain lashes against the windows, creating a rhythm that feels like a warning. The wind rattles the doors, and shadows move across the rooms as if the house itself is holding its breath. Amy stands by the window, staring at the pouring rain, her fingers gripping the wooden frame. She feels a mix of fear, anger, and hope-fear for what Gracie might do. Anger for the lies she's told, and hope that tonight the truth will finally be revealed. Ty enters behind her, silent but tense. His eyes scan every corner of the room, every shadow, as if trying to anticipate what might come next. The camera pans across the empty kitchen, catching glimpses of a forgotten cup. A chair slightly out of place, small details that hint at Gracie's presence and the lingering chaos she's caused. The narration begins, low and serious. The calm before the storm can feel like forever. Tonight, every secret, every lie, every betrayal is about to be exposed. Heartland has never seen a night like this. As the narrator speaks, close-up shots show Amy's hands clenching into fists, Ty's jaw tightening, and the door at the far end of the hallway, closed, heavy, and foreboding. Every creak of the floorboards and every gust of wind outside adds to the tension.
Appear briefly on the screen. The truth waits behind closed doors. The confrontation
begins now. Gracie's already in the farmhouse, but the audience only sees her in shadows. A silhouette moves across the room, her figure blurred by the dim light. Her movements are calm, almost too calm, a dangerous contrast to the storm raging outside. The camera focuses on small details, a hand picking up a letter, a door slowly closing, a chair being shifted. The subtle sounds make the viewers hold their breath. Amy and Ty exchange a glance, unspoken words passing between them. They know what they must do. They step slowly down the hallway, every step echoing against the wooden floor. The tension is unbearable. As the camera shifts to Gracie's shadowed figure, the narration cuts in again. Every word, every glance. Every action tonight will decide the fate of Heartland. Some truths can heal. Some truths can shatter everything. The wind howls outside, rain slams harder against the windows, and the camera lingers on the heavy door separating them from Gracie. The first section ends with a lingering shot of Amy reaching for the doorknob, her hand trembling slightly. Text appears. The moment of truth is here. Are you ready? The suspense is palpable. Viewers feel the storm, the fear, and the anticipation, setting the stage perfectly for the confrontation that's about to explode in the next section. The rain outside doesn't let up, but inside, Heartland feels even colder. Every room carries echoes of what has happened in the past weeks, the whispered lies, the stolen moments, the manipulations that no one could see coming. Amy walks slowly through the living room, her eyes tracing the places where Gracie's presence lingered in. Empty cup on the counter, a scarf draped carelessly over a chair, a letter half hidden under a cushion. The camera lingers on these objects, showing the small ways Gracie has left her mark, each one a puzzle piece of a larger betrayal. The narration begins. Tense but reflective. Deception isn't loud. It doesn't announce itself. It hides in small things, in moments no one notices, until it's too late. Gracie's lies have been building silently, tightening like a noose around Heartland. Close-up shots show Amy picking up the letter, her hands trembling. The words just out of focus, but enough to suggest their danger. Ty appears behind her, a hand resting on her shoulder, not just for comfort, but as a steadying anchor in the storm. Shadows of the two of them stretch across the floor, merging and separating with each flicker of light from the storm outside. The camera shifts to a faceless silhouette of Gracie. Moving through the hallway, only her shadow is visible against the walls, her presence almost ghost-like. A reminder of how much she's influenced events without anyone truly seeing her intentions. Text overlays flash briefly on the screen, the lies she whispered, the plans she plotted, all leading to this moment. The narrator's voice continues. Every secret she kept was a thread in a web, and now that web is ready to unravel. Heartland's walls hold more than memories, they hold the weight of betrayal. The tension escalates as the camera moves through the house, showing empty chairs, doors left ajar, and objects slightly out of place, all silent witnesses to Gracie's manipulations. A slow zoom on a family photo on the wall highlights the fragility of trust, with the storm outside reflecting in the glass. Rain hits the window in staccato bursts, echoing the pounding of hearts inside the room. Amy turns to Ty. Their eyes meeting, and a silent understanding passes between them. They've pieced together the patterns, seen the signs, felt the tension, and now the confrontation is inevitable. The narration cuts in one final time for this section. Gracie's shadows have haunted Heartland for too long. Tonight, every hidden truth will be brought to light. No one will walk away unchanged. The section ends with a faceless shot of Amy and Ty approaching the ominous hallway door again. The camera holding on their clasped hands for a beat, while Gracie's shadow seems to watch from the other side. Text appears briefly. The moment of reckoning is closer than ever. Are you ready to see the truth? This section makes the recap more immersive by showing the lingering effects of Gracie's lies, using objects, shadows, and subtle sound cues instead of just exposition. The farmhouse feels alive tonight, but not in the usual comforting way. Every creak in the floorboards, every sigh of the wind, every flicker of candlelight seems to carry a warning. The storm outside has intensified, the rain hammering the windows like impatient fists, demanding attention. Amy and Ty move slowly through the dimly lit hallway, their footsteps echoing in the silence. The camera follows them from behind, their shadows stretching long and distorted across the walls, giving the space an almost haunted feeling. Each step feels heavier than the last, as though the house itself is holding its breath, waiting for what's coming. The narration begins, low and tense. Some rooms keep their secrets. Some doors hide what the heart fears most. Tonight, the walls of Heartland will no longer keep silent. Every hallway, every shadow, every corner will witness the truth. Close-up shots show Amy's hand brushing against the wall, tracing the grain of the wood, as if grounding herself against the fear building inside her. Ty's hand finds hers, their fingers tighten. An unspoken promise of facing whatever comes together. The camera pans across familiar spaces, now transformed by suspense. The kitchen looks ordinary until the audience notices a chair slightly out of place, a cup left half full, a letter barely visible under a newspaper. Each detail is magnified, hinting at Gracie's presence and the secrets she has left behind. A subtle text overlay flashes. Every detail tells a story, if you know how to read it. Meanwhile, the storm outside rages, lightning briefly illuminating the hallway and casting jagged shadows across the walls. Gracie's silhouette is seen in the distance, partially hidden behind a doorway. Her movements slow and deliberate. It isn't just waiting, she's calculating, the narration continues. Gracie has always known how to make silence speak louder than words. Her shadow lingers where it shouldn't, reminding Amy and Ty that tonight isn't just a conversation, a reckoning. The camera cuts to a Langle shot of the hallway, perspective faceless, making viewers feel like they're creeping behind Amy and Ty. Inching closer to the confrontation with every step, the tension ratchets higher as they approach the door at the end of the hall. The doorknob glints in the dim light, wet from the rain seeping through the windows. A slow zoom on Amy's face, her expression partially hidden, shows her jaw tightening and her breath quickening. Ty's hand hovers just above the doorknob, ready to act if things spiral out of control. The narration intensifies. Some doors are meant to remain closed, but some truths demand to be faced. And tonight, Heartland will face a truth it can no longer ignore. The section ends with a lingering shot of the closed door. A shadow moves just beyond it, Gracie's presence unmistakable but faceless, creating an almost suffocating sense of suspense. Text overlays flash on screen. The confrontation is seconds away, and nothing will ever be the same. Storm outside thunders in perfect synchronization with the mounting fear inside, leaving viewers holding their breath, fully aware that the final showdown is imminent. This section sets the stage for the EHS's confrontation by turning the familiar Heartland farmhouse into a tense, almost character-like presence, using shadow sound, faceless POV to immerse viewers. The door looms before them, heavy and ominous, almost daring Amy and Ty to step closer. Amy's hand trembles on the knob, but she doesn't retreat. Exchanges a brief, silent look, with Ty a mix of resolve and fear in together. The narration begins, sharp and dramatic. Some confrontations can't be postponed. Some truths can't be softened. Tonight, every word, every glance, every breath will burn with the weight of the secrets kept for too long. Captures Amy stepping forward, the floorboards groaning under her weight, and Ty following closely, his posture protective yet wary. Gracie stands partially hidden behind a table, her movements calm but deliberate, presence commanding attention even without a full reveal. Faceless storytelling heightens the tension. Close-up of hands gripping tables and doorknobs. Shadows cast across walls like silent spectators. Letters and papers rustling under Gracie's hand, hinting at the evidence of her manipulations. Text overlays punctuate the rising drama. No more hiding, no more lies. The truth ends here. Amy's voice cuts through the storm outside, soft but trembling. Gracie, why did you do all this? Why hurt the people who trusted you the most? The camera stays faceless, showing only her silhouette and trembling hands. Ty's voice joins hers, steadier. We deserve the truth, not your games. You can't undo what's been broken. Gracie steps forward slowly, still mostly in shadow. Her voice is calm, almost chilling. You think you understand, but you've seen only what I allowed. Tonight you'll see everything. A subtle pan to her hands shows her gripping a folder tightly, hinting at the secrets ready to be unleashed. The storm outside mirrors the tension inside. Thunder shakes the walls, and the rain hammers against the windows, almost like applause. For the unfolding drama, the narrator cuts in again. Every confrontation leaves a mark. Every truth has a cost. And tonight, Heartland will feel both. The camera lingers on the trio in a triangular composition, Amy and Ty on one side, Gracie on the other. The distance between them feels like a chasm, filled with betrayal, anger, and fear. Slow-motion details emphasize the emotion. Amy's clenched fists, Ty's protective stance. Gracie's measured steps forward. The section closes with a close-up of the folder in Gracie's hands, the camera intentionally not revealing the contents. Text overlays flash. The truth is here. Are you ready to see it? The suspense is unbearable, leaving viewers on the edge of their seats, knowing the confrontation is about to reach its emotional peak. This section turns the confrontation into a tense cinematic event using faceless POV, shadows, sound, and text overlays to fully immerse the audience while keeping them guessing about Gracie's next move. The air inside the farmhouse feels electric, thick with tension, as if every heartbeat is amplified. Rain lashes against the windows, thunder shakes the walls, and the shadows of the room seem to grow longer, pressing in on Amy, Ty, and Gracie. Amy steps forward, her silhouette outlined by the dim light filtering through the window. Tremble, but her voice is steady enough to cut through the storm. Gracie, no more games? Tell us everything. The narration begins, slow and heavy. Truth doesn't whisper, it shouts. And tonight, the whispers of lies will finally scream. The camera pans across the room, focusing on faceless yet emotionally charged visuals. Amy's hands clenched tightly at her sides. Ty's jaw locked in determination, Gracie's shadow shifting almost imperceptibly. Every subtle movement carries weight. Every pause is a loaded moment. The faceless storytelling makes the audience fill in the tension themselves. Gracie finally steps fully into the light, but not completely. Only glimpses of her profile, and the outline of her figure are visible. She opens the folder she has been holding, slowly revealing pieces of evidence, letters, photographs, and papers that tell a story of betrayal. Text overlays flash key phrases for dramatic impact. I trusted you. It shouldn't have ended this way. The lies. All of them. Her voice, calm yet filled with emotion, breaks the silence. You think you know everything. But the truth is heavier than you can imagine. I never wanted this to hurt anyone, but it did. Amy and Ty react physically without showing their faces, hands grabbing their heads in disbelief. Fists clenching, shoulders trembling. Every sound, every sigh, every subtle movement conveys heartbreak and anger. The narration intensifies. Some truths heal, and some wounds cut so deep they can never fully mend. Tonight, Heartland faces both. Emotions collide like a storm, impossible to contain. Close-up faceless shots capture, Ty's hand gripping Amy's arm for strength. The fluttering pages of the folder, the flicker of lightning casting jagged shadows across Gracie's expression. As the confrontation escalates, voices overlap. Amy's tone cracks. Why didn't you come to us sooner? Why hide it all? Ty's voice joins, sharper this time. You've hurt everyone who trusted you, Gracie. Did it even matter to you? Gracie falters, her shoulders dropping slightly, and her voice softens. I didn't know how to stop it. I was afraid of losing everything. But now, there's no more hiding. The storm outside mirrors the chaos inside. Rain strikes with sudden force, thunder roars, and the house seems to shiver under the weight of raw emotion. The slow-motion shots linger on the characters' faceless reactions, the trembling hands, the tense stance, the shadows stretching unnaturally. Text overlays punctuate each moment. The confrontation is here. The truth cannot be ignored. The section ends with a dramatic long shot, Amy and Ty standing together, facing Gracie. The folder open between them, the storm raging outside, and the shadows of all three merging and splitting in the candlelight. The narration leaves viewers on the edge. Every secret has been revealed. Every heart has been tested. But the night is not yet over, and the final choice lies ahead. This section makes the climax feel alive, using faceless visuals, shadows, text overlays, sound cues, text, and narration to heighten emotional impact without showing faces. The tension is at its peak, setting up the aftermath in Section 6. The storm. Outside begins to calm, but inside Heartland, a different kind of quiet lingers. The tension that once filled the air has been replaced by a heavy silence, the kind that presses on your chest and makes each breath feel deliberate. The hallway, once alive with footsteps and echoes of confrontation, is now still. Amy and Ty stand side by side, faceless silhouettes against the dim glow of the candlelight. Their shoulders slumped, but their presence steady. Gracie's shadow stretches across the room, retreating slightly as if the fight inside has drained even her. The narration begins, soft and reflective. After the storm, silence speaks the loudest. Every truth has been revealed, every secret laid bare. And yet, the weight of what has happened doesn't fade so easily. The camera pans slowly across the farmhouse, lingering on small details that tell the story of the night. A folder left open on the table. A chair knocked slightly out of place. Raindrops sliding down the windows like tears. Witness to the confrontation, a silent testament to the pain and courage of those involved. Faceless storytelling emphasizes emotion. Close-up of Amy's trembling hands slowly unclenching, fingers brushing against Ty's for comfort. Ty resting his hand gently on the table, tracing the edge as if grounding himself in reality. Gracie, mostly in shadow, looking away toward the window. The rain streaking the glass behind her, hinting at regret. Text overlays punctuates the silence. Some wounds can heal. Some scars remain. The narration continues. In the aftermath of revelation, hearts must decide what to carry forward and what to let go. Forgiveness is a journey, and trust. Trust must be rebuilt, one step at a time. The storm's fading sound mirrors the slowing heartbeat of the room. Leaving viewers with the weight of everything that just unfolded, Amy and Ty move slowly toward the main doorway. Their silhouettes framed by the soft golden light spilling from the hallway. Gracie remains by the table, the folder now closed, her shadow flickering as she moves slightly. The camera captures a faceless shot of all three from above, highlighting the distance between them physically and emotionally, reminder that while the confrontation is over, the consequences linger. The narration deepens the emotional resonance. Tonight changed everything. Hearts were tested. Loyalties were questioned. But even in the darkest moments, there is a glimmer of hope. A choice remains to rebuild or to let the past define the future. The camera slowly pans outside, showing the Heartland fields under a fading storm. The horizon glowing faintly as the first light of dawn begins to touch the landscape. The section ends with a lingering, faceless shot of Amy and Ty standing together at the doorway. The faint shadow of Gracie behind them. Text overlaid, "The confrontation is over." But Heartland's story continues. The music is soft, melancholic, yet hopeful, leaving viewers feeling the emotional weight while anticipating what comes next. This section makes the aftermath unique and cinematic, using faceless visuals, symbolic objects, shadows, and narration to convey reflection, tension resolution, and lingering emotion. The farmhouse has fallen into an uneasy calm. The storm has passed, leaving a wet, glistening silence outside, but inside, Heartland is still alive with the echoes of what just happened. Amy and Ty stand near the doorway, faceless silhouettes in the soft morning light creeping through the windows. Their shoulders are heavy with exhaustion and emotion, and though the confrontation is over, the weight of what was revealed lingers like a shadow that refuses to leave. The narration begins. Low and suspenseful, the confrontation may have ended, but the story isn't finished. Secrets can be buried, but some truths have a way of finding their way back, and some shadows refuse to disappear. The camera pans slowly across the empty rooms, catching details that hint at unresolved tension. A chair slightly askew, a folder still on the table, a window left cracked. The wind stirring the curtain like a ghost of the night before. Faceless storytelling builds suspense. A hand reaches for the folder, hesitates, then withdraws, leaving viewers guessing whose hand it is. A shadow moves quickly across the hallway floor, too fast to identify, creating a sense of mystery. A faint envelope sits unopened on the counter, hinting at a new secret waiting to be revealed. Text overlays appear dramatically. The truth doesn't end here. The next chapter begins. The camera cuts outside, showing Heartland fields wet with rain, mist curling over the pastures, and a shadowy figure in the distance, barely visible, walking toward the farmhouse. The figure stops, watching silently a new threat or revelation on the horizon. The narrator intensifies the suspense. Every choice has consequences. Every secret carries a cost. Heartland may have survived tonight, but the darkness is far from gone. What comes next could change everything again. Close-up faceless shots of Amy and Ty show them holding each other's hands tightly, their posture protective but wary. Gracie's shadow lingers near the corner, subtle hints of guilt, fear, or plotting visible in her stance. Leaving viewers unsure of her next move, lightning flashes in the distance, casting long, jagged shadows across the farmhouse walls. Rain begins again, soft at first, then heavier, echoing the uncertainty ahead. Text overlays flash briefly. Who can be trusted? What will happen next? Heartland's story is far from over. The section ends with a long, slow zoom out from the farmhouse, capturing the misty fields, the lingering shadows, and the faint silhouette of the approaching figure. Music swells and fades into silence, leaving viewers with that classic cliffhanger feeling. It's the perfect hook to ensure they come back for the next episode. This final section leaves the audience hanging. Using faceless POV, shadows, environmental cues, and narration to maximize suspense while teasing new drama.